welcome back to my channel, Beautiful Minutia. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and today I'm going to be giving you a flip through my 2024 reading journal. I recently did a video sharing my 2025 journal, and there were several of you who said you were interested in seeing my 2024 journal, so this is it. I also purchased this journal at Hobby Lobby last year, but they still have this exact one available because when I bought my new journal, this one was there, and so I ended up not getting this, even though I think this is so lovely. It's got like some gilded stuff to it, and I think it's really, really pretty, but I didn't want to have the same journal 2 years in a row. Okay, so without further ado, let's do the flip through. This is my title page for my 2024 journal, and this is my shelfie. So it actually looks quite a bit different than this year's for several reasons. First of all, because I had the dot grid in this journal, I was able to more easily draw the things that I wanted to draw. And secondly, because the way that I rated these books was how I colored them. So I have a color coding system here, whether or not it was a 1 through 5 star or a DNF. And so these are all colored in for the year. I do have a couple of extra spaces here because I use this little cart, at least the front of it, for books that we read together for our homeschool. And so I left it open if we had more books that we read, but we didn't. So this is the completed shelfie. And then this is what I ended up doing for my reading stats. I think I included a picture of this in my last journal. And I really like the pixelated look because you can kind of really see at a glance really well, like how much you did in each month. And so it's really kind of a fun snapshot to do it this way. But like I said, I had to do it differently in my new journal for multiple reasons. But these were the things I was tracking this year. Clearly, I anticipated to complete more manga than I ended up completing because I had tons of space here, and then I dropped off and didn't read any manga for like 3 months. So that one looks like the most empty and disappointing, but some of them I had to add more for, like my total ended up being more than I thought it was going to be, and I had to add an extra row like for the classics as well. This is my best of the month page. So I have my favorite book of each month of the year, and then my favorite book of the entire year, which you've already probably seen my wrap up for the year, but my favorite was Daniel Deronda. The funny thing is I read Daniel Deronda and The Labors of Hercules Beale in the same month, in March, and I put Hercules Beale for March, but Daniel Deronda ended up squeezing it out for the favorite of the year. This is where I tracked my Goodreads goals, and I color coordinated this the same way that I did here for my reading stats, where each month is a different color, and then I use the same color for the books here. And then also for my Goodreads goal here, I always set my goal at 100, and I almost always exceed that. So you can see that I met my goal in October based on the color. And then here was supposed to be my goals for the year, and I never filled it up. So oh well. And we have the series overview. So this just had different series I was planning to continue in 2024. Some of them I did continue, some of them I did not. But I clearly anticipated starting more series because I made this a Dutch door style so I could add more like boxes and stuff. And then I really didn't start any more series. I think Mistborn kept me pretty busy this year, as well as the Memoirs of Lady Trent and Stormlight Archive. So between those, that was pretty much mostly the series that I made progress on. I also did for Attack on Titan and Kuma 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 Bear. Next, we have my Reader Rid project page. You may notice that in my 2025 journal, I did not have this page, and that is because I'm not doing a Reader Rid project in 2025. I've actually done it for like probably 3 or 4 years, and basically I choose one book that I'm going to read per month, and if I don't read it, I get rid of it. So I actually did get rid of most of these, but I only read this one, and this one were the only ones that I completed, and I DNF'd a couple of them. So I did get rid of most of these. I think the only one I held on to was Legion by Brandon Sanderson, and I might have held on to Slaughterhouse 5 as well, but I can't remember. The rest of them I got rid of because I did follow my own rules, at least, I guess. This is my classics for the year. So this side is my TBR page. I love how this page turned out. It was one of my favorites of the year. And then this was for me to put all the classics I read for the year. And this worked out marvelously because I filled every single space. So it was the exact right amount of spaces. This is my Buddy Reads and Challenges page, and I showed you that in my new journal, and it looked so nice. And this one looked really nice at the beginning of the year too, but as the year progresses, it gets messier and messier as different books get pushed to different months, or things get changed, or things end up being swapped, or I have to add something to this very quickly, and I don't have the same kind of pen that I use, so there's different colors, there's things crossed out, there's changes of plans, all that kind of stuff. This is my Nintendo Switch game tracker, and this is actually a page that I wish I could have duplicated in this year's journal, but again, no dot grid makes it very difficult for me to draw things, and this Switch looks actually exactly like our Nintendo Switch because we have the Animal Crossing edition, so it has the pastel Joy-Cons. A lot of these are games that I purchased in 2023, and then from this one on, they're ones that I purchased in 2024, and so I marked with a stamp whether I finished them, whether they were a favorite, or I DNF'd them. So there's a lot in my backlog here that I had going into 2024 that I still didn't play at all. And I made it Dutch door style in case I ran out of room, which was perfect because I did run out of room. This is my music page for the year. So these are just songs that I liked. Up here I put like favorite tunes, and I don't like how I did that because it ended up just kind of blurring in and you can't really see it. But I really like the little headphones that I put on here. I thought they turned out really cute, and it looks really fun, mostly filled out. I didn't quite get to the bottom, but close. It's pretty much entirely K-pop songs. Then we get to like the January pages, and I am going to flip through and show you every month because I did different spreads for every month, and I included like a filming schedule and books I ended up reading and a page for favorites and a page for memories, and I kind of followed that same basic format throughout my journal. I didn't really like how January turned out. I thought it doesn't look very neat or cohesive. I did do a stats page for January and a couple of the other months, but that kind of disappeared as I continued on in the year. And then this is like a memory page. But after I did this, I realized, oh, this is like my word of the year. Anyways, after that, I realized that there were some annual pages that I still wanted to do. So it's kind of a little disorganized that way. And I bet you that my 2025 journal will end up the same way, that I figure out pages that I wanted to include. So anyways, this is my Patreon suggestions and the books I ended up reading each month. These are new to me authors. So I tried a lot of new authors this year, which is really great. I loved this new to me authors, but because I wrote the names in through there, I kind of don't like how that ended up looking at the end of the year. I had a YouTube tracking page for me to track like my subscribers and all that kind of stuff and channel growth over the year. And I stopped using it in June. And actually, I'm pretty sure when I did June's, I also did May's and April's at the same time. So I really was not very consistent with this. So I did not include it at all in my journal for this year. And I was going to put like a title page here, and that didn't work out. These are my book awards for 2024. So I have categories of like funniest, most disappointing, best reread, made me cry the most boring, and biggest surprise. Some of these books made it into my best or worst of the year, and some of them were honorable mentions. So it's really not any new information for you here. This is my February page, so it's my TBR for We Love Jenny, which we did in February of last year. And then I have my filming schedule, my month in review, and I stopped tracking the pages that I read. So that's unfortunate, but my tracker for 2025 has a space for monthly pages read, so that will hopefully help me out. Oops, I skipped a page. So these are February memories and then March memories, so that way I didn't have a blank page in between. I really love the stickers that I used for March. Like, these little cats are so cute. They're wearing like little raincoats. They're Korean stickers. I really liked them, but unfortunately I didn't end up liking the spread because it all ended up being like really squished together because I tried to make it all fit in 2 pages. So this was the last month that I tried to squeeze it so hard because it just didn't work for me. April, I loved. I did a capybara and coffee themes. So this is just like the books I ended up reading, favorite things I had, games I was playing. And then I have my filming schedule here along with a page specifically for Alcott April, which was a readathon that I hosted last year. And it perfectly worked with this quote from Little Women with a capybara drinking coffee and eating a donut. Then I have the April memories here, May memories here, and for May I did an 80s theme. So when I get into actual May pages, I kind of themed it around their song Wave and like photos they took around them, and that's kind of where my color scheme came in. So I liked how it turned out, and it was really cheerful, but this entire page ended up being my TBR, and I didn't read very much in May because I was in a horrible reading slump. So I ended up not liking how this page turned out because it ended up feeling way too empty down here. Before we kicked off into June, I decided I wanted to do a page for my summer book bingo. So I printed out like a little tiny one of them so that way I could track and color code which squares I completed in which month. And then this was just the prompts along with the books I ended up reading for it. My June page, I have more of these Korean stickers here, but this time instead of them being like springy, they're like all forest themed. And I just thought that they were really adorable. I still have another set I haven't used yet, so I might use that in 2025 at some point. This is like my tracking overall page and then more memories. This is my July page, and it's one of my favorites in the whole thing because my sister had sent me these capybara stickers, and a lot of them were this exact same capybara but in different outfits. And so that's why I did the follow your dreams, because he can do anything he wants to do. He could be a firefighter, he could be a knight, he could be a police officer, he could be, this one kind of feels like Men in Black to me, but maybe it's just a lawyer or something else. Or I mean, he could even be a unicorn. He could be anything that he wants to be. I really liked this gold paper that I used here because it's really pretty. If you can see, it's really lovely, but it was hard to write on because it took forever for any ink to dry. This is my filming schedule and then my favorites. So more capybara stickers, as well as on the memories. I have this Little Mermaid one, which is one of my favorites. So for August, I did a s'more theme, which fit in with my summer book bingo, and actually Dia sent me these s'more stickers for my summer book bingo page, but I ended up not being able to use them for that. Let me see if I can find it again. Because the squares were too small when I printed it out, because I had to print on a smaller one to fit it in here. So that's the size of the stickers. But anyways, I ended up using them here, and I really liked them. Then this is just my filming schedule, and I included a dragon. He is creating the fire for the campfire, in case you're wondering. September was a T-Rex theme. Get it? T-Rex. My sister sent me these stickers, and they were perfect for my birthday month. I like how cheerful and bright this ended up being. And then I had memories here. This is October memories, and I had some capybara stickers that had him in a jack-o'-lantern. But this is actually, I think, my very favorite spread that I did for the entire year. It just feels so cozy and so bookish and so perfect for October. So I was thrilled with how this turned out, and I was able to like write really small. And so I was able to fit all of the things that I needed to fit just on these 2 pages, which I really hadn't been able to do in other spreads. November, I had these little turkey stickers that I got from Hobby Lobby that I really like. I think they're really cute. I used these letters, and I regret that because I don't know. Can you see how thick? I don't know if you can see how thick they are because they're foam stickers. And so it made it so it didn't really close very well. And then I ended up doing like counting your blessings. So a blessing for each day rather than only writing memories. And then this is not staying stuck, but my video schedule and favorites. And then December was similar in that these stickers are also, they have the foam underneath them, so they don't close very well. But at this point, it's December, and I don't really care. So this was just supposed to look like a snowy village, and I really liked how it turned out. And then I have my video schedule here along with my 12 days of Christmas schedule, which, as you can see, I've already changed things, and even what's here is not accurate as to like which days I'm doing what. So then I have some favorites here and my December memories. So yeah, so this is my journal for 2024. Some pages ended up really nice, and some pages ended up like really messy, but that's just some of the process of what ends up happening as I learn how I want it to look each year, because I feel like every year it ends up being a little bit different and changing. This was the first year that I used my journal only for bookish stuff. In the past, I had done it for a planner as well, and then that just ended up being too much for me to catch up on. So this was a different experience trying to figure out exactly how I wanted things to look. But it definitely changed and grew over the year. And it's fun to be able to share with you my monthly spreads, because I didn't share these anywhere at all. I only shared just the beginning annual pages that I made. If you have a 2024 journal that you have shared, I hope you'll let me know in the comments so that way I can go take a look. But it was really fun to be able to share this with you. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and also subscribe so you can continue to see more bookish content from me. And I will see you again tomorrow for another one of the 12 Days of Christmas.